Mute it. I am muted. I don't know why I was muted. It's supposed to automatically unmute, but hello, everyone. Thank you for being here. Thank you. Yeah, Jackie Boy's birthday. Yeah, it's gonna be, today won't be my usual perky, happy, because I feel sad today. I have to be honest. I do feel sad. Yeah. So, yeah. Ginger, Lori, Nova Scotia, Allison, and Linda, Deanna, Peggy. Whoops. Rena, sorry. I used to work with Rihanna. Ginger's girl, Betty, Deanna, Mark. Yeah, I hope I didn't miss anybody. Yeah. I feel sad today too. I think this is the hardest day since they disappeared. It is hard. Yeah, I found the last 3 days I was kind of teary and cranky and just, yeah, it's sad. So sad. Hi, Mary, Allison, Lori, Deanna, Peggy, Betty, Rena Girl, Ginger. Great to see you. And it's great to see you too, Mark. Hi, Shar. Thanks for being here. Thanks. Yeah. Yeah. I hope everyone's doing well today. I hope everyone's doing well. I'm tired today. My husband and I were both up. My neighbor was having actually the last 2 nights we didn't get a lot of sleep. Our neighbor's, health-wise is not doing well. And, yeah, he's just kind of been calling on my husband to help him, and he's having some issues going on. He's seeing things that aren't there, and he's constantly calling the cops over because he's afraid, and he's calling my husband over. And anyways, he was finally taken to the hospital, so that's a good thing. But yeah, the last couple of days we have not gotten a lot of sleep at all. So I am tired. And like I said, and sad. Hi, Mama Angie. Mama Ange. Name change. Angelina, hi. Yeah. Hi, everyone. Love and prayers from SW, Ontario, Canada. Happy birthday, sweet, precious Jackie boy. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, God love him. So sad. Cheryl Wozniak. Hi, everyone. I'm almost ready for tonight. Yep. So the plans are for tonight. So that's the first thing I have on the list to go over, Vigil. So the plans are to stream it live on here. And because not everybody has Facebook. So, and I'm sure I'm probably not the only one that's going to show it. I'm sure there's other creators, maybe Sunny, Shar, maybe. I don't know, but maybe there are others outside of myself. But everybody's welcome to come here. So hopefully it will set up properly with no issues. The last time they had a vigil, I also streamed it from Facebook as well for people who didn't have Facebook. But I remember I ran into an issue at first. I finally figured it out, but I ended up getting on here late because of whatever the issue was. But at the time, I was newer to using StreamYard and stuff, so I can't remember what it was. I just remember that I finally figured it out. So whatever it is, hopefully there's no issues this time. And hopefully it streams to Facebook okay as well, because if it doesn't stream to Facebook okay, then I won't be able to show it to you guys on here, because it's coming from someone who's streaming it from Facebook, from Facebook to YouTube. So hopefully all goes well. So Mark, well, I'll just read this whole thing. So actually, I'll go over to, well, no, I should be able to see it on here. Okay. So tonight, Wednesday, October 29th, 7 to 7:30 p.m. And it is at the Stellarton RCMP detachment here in Nova Scotia, Pictou County. As Jack's 5th birthday approaches, which is today, our hearts are heavy knowing that he and his sister Lily are still missing. Instead of the joyful celebration that should have been, we will gather together to honor Jack, to share our love, our hope, and our prayers for both him and Lily. Yeah. So, yeah, exactly, Mama Ange. I know. Thank you. Thanks. That's my new one. YouTube wouldn't let me play the other one anymore, so had to come up with a new one. And the video, I made the video, same as the other one, I did the video. Yeah. Happy birthday, Novah and Jack. Today is my birthday as well, yeah. But it's all about Jack today. My husband went and bought me Chinese food, and he bought me a red velvet cake. And then tomorrow the kids will be here and the grandbaby, and we'll be doing my birthday tomorrow. Big celebration. They're going to cook for me. Oh, awesome, Novah. Thank you. I don't have Facebook. Exactly. A lot of people don't. Yeah. And yeah, so 7 to 7:30. Novah, I am grateful you are streaming the vigil. Okay, good. Well, I'm glad it's going to be, available to some. because there are people that they don't go to Facebook or have it. Hi, Marlene. Happy birthday, Jack. Always in my thoughts and prayers. Yeah. And so what you guys can do tonight when you come in to the chat is you can leave some words and a candle. You know, you can go into your emojis and there's the candle there. And do that, and you're also in the comments, right? And then that way you're lighting a candle for Jack and Lily as well. Oh, did you like the sushi? I didn't care for it. But maybe it's something you have to, I don't know, become accustomed to. Maybe, I don't know. But it's not something I would go, oh my gosh, I can't wait to have that again, or if somebody said to me, let's eat out, where do you want to eat? I wouldn't say, let's have sushi. Yeah. Thank you, Cheryl. Thanks everyone. Yeah. Today's about Jack though, and I have to tell you, it feels I've never been one into birthdays or anything like that, like my birthday, I mean. But I thank you. But hi Ariel. Now to me, my birthday, the 29th, obviously October 29th, has an even more special meaning, or a special meaning now, you know. Yeah. Sushi is nasty. Yeah, it wasn't my forte. Yeah. But the kids love it. So, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I guess you either love it or you hate it. It's one of those things, right? Thank you, Mary. It's one of those things that you love or you hate, I guess. All right. So, let's get into this. So, the vigil. So, I just read that. And then I want to go over to just read I posted them all in the community, but for those of you that didn't see it or just didn't have time to read it or whatever the case may be, we're going to go over there and I'm going to read it for you all. I'll make that bigger for you guys. All right, so we'll read the official statement of the upcoming search. Hi, Squid. Listening today, driving back from Pictou back to Pictou from Halifax. Hi, Novah. Hi, chat. Squid, thanks for being here. And so Squid is a local. I thought you were, but I wasn't sure. You and Lobster? Squid and Lobster. That's cute. Now all we need is a clam and crab. Love your channel. Hi, Holly. So nice to see you. You've been here for a long time. From PEI. Love your channel and thank you for keeping the kids' situation out there. Happy birthday to Novah and Jack. Thank you, Holly. Trail hiker. Thank you for coming back. Thank you. Squid, yeah. Clam will be a good one. Clam, squid, lobster, and clam. And haddock. We got to get haddock in there because that's my favorite. All right. So I'm gonna go over to YouTube to read this. And while I'm over there, I won't be able to see you guys chatting, okay? So if you have any comments, you're better to wait to the end so I can see your comments, because otherwise I'm just going to assume it's you guys chatting as the chat goes up, right? Scallops. Yeah, see, I didn't think of scallops because I'm allergic to scallops, so that wasn't on the tip of my tongue. Actually, I'm allergic to clams and scallops, but scallops were really bad. Like that would kill me. um all right, so official statement written by Please Bring Me Home, posted on their Facebook regarding search for Lily and Jack. Upcoming search. Oh, okay. So they're gonna kill two birds with one stone in this. They are going to also do a search for Jesse Morrissey while they're here, who is also another missing individual. He is, I believe he is, I guess it'll say his age in here. I know he's a teenager. He's a youth. And yeah, and he went missing. Upcoming search for Jesse Morrissey, Friday, November 14th, and Jack and Lily Sullivan, Saturday, November 15th. And I'm going to be looking into the Jesse case there a little bit more, because I've never I should know more about it. I should know more about it, and I need to add them to the list of posters I have done. Okay, so Lilly&Jack's is on November 15th. Please Bring Me Home will be traveling to Nova Scotia next month to conduct two search efforts. On Friday, November 14th, our team will be assisting in the search for Jesse Morrissey. And on Saturday, November 15th, we will be completing a search effort for Lily and Jack Sullivan. Jesse, 26. Why did I think he was I thought he was 16 for some reason. My memory. Jesse, 26, was last seen on February 13th, 2022. Wow, so he's been missing for a few years now. Driving a dark-colored Jeep Patriot in the Spring Hill, Leamington area of Cumberland County, Nova Scotia. His vehicle was later found abandoned on the snowmobile trail, and he was reported missing the next day. The RCMP have classified his disappearance as suspicious and continue to investigate, believing there are individuals with information who have yet to come forward. So they're definitely thinking something suspicious went on there. Extensive ground and air searches have been conducted, along with more than 200 interviews, but Jesse has not been found. In 2023, his case was added to Nova Scotia's Rewards for Major Unsolved Crimes program, offering up to $150,000 for information leading to an arrest and conviction. Anyone with details about this disappearance is urged to contact the RCMP or Crime Stoppers. So he was added to the Major Unsolved Crimes program as well. Lily Sullivan, age 6, and her younger brother Jack Sullivan, age 4, vanished on the morning of May 2nd, 2025, from their rural home on Garlick Road in Lansdowne Station area of Pictou County, Nova Scotia. Family members last saw them inside the residence on the morning of that day. They say that, but yet the RCMP says they were last seen on May 1st. That's their date of last seen. After they were together with family the afternoon before May 1st. An extensive search involving hundreds of volunteers and multiple agencies was launched, but no trace of the siblings was found in the immediate days following their disappearance. Authorities have described the investigation as intensive, reviewing thousands of video files and hundreds of tips. And while there is no confirmed evidence of an abduction, the case remains unresolved and an active missing persons investigation. The government of Nova Scotia has offered a reward of up to $150,000 for information leading to their safe return or the resolution of the case. We are opening the search. Now, this is important because there are people interested. They've contacted me and asked me, I want to volunteer. How do I go about that? So this is important here, okay, for anybody who is interested. We are opening the search for Jack and Lily to members of the public who wish to assist. However, there are a few important things to keep in mind before signing up. This search will require participants to be physically able-bodied. Now, remember that because it is terrible, terrible, rough terrain. Yeah. The terrain may be challenging. So if you have any ongoing injuries or limitations, such as a back, hip, or leg issues, I've got all three, this may not be the right search for you. If you wish to take part, you must email us at search at, so listen carefully, search at pleasebringmehome.com. And you can see it there on the screen. With the following information: your full name, phone number, email address, your emergency contact's full name and phone number. Note, your emergency contact cannot be someone who is also participating in the search. About 1 week prior to the search, we will email all registered volunteers with meeting times and location details. On the morning of the search, we will review all safety procedures, discuss assigned search areas, and confirm team groupings. We also want to note that we have made attempts to reach out to the local RCMP to communicate our intent to conduct this search. While we have not yet received a response regarding this specific effort, we have been in communication with them previously about Jack and Lily Sullivan's disappearance. That's good. This search will be conducted with a focus solely on wandering and misadventure. Please note that we are not investigating any other potential circumstances surrounding this case. Our role is to conduct organized, respectful, and safe ground searches in areas of potential relevance. If you have any information regarding Jack and Lily Sullivan's disappearance, we strongly encourage you to report it directly to RCMP so it can be handled appropriately through official channels. Additionally, if there are avid hunters, trappers, or woodsmen in the area who are familiar with the wooded regions surrounding the Sullivan residence, particularly to the north and south, we would greatly appreciate your insight. If you have knowledge of bodies of water, running creeks, animal dens, or other key landmarks in these areas, please reach out to me directly. Your local experience and recollection of the terrain could be invaluable in helping us plan this search effectively. We're deeply grateful to everyone who continues to support these efforts. Together, we continue to work toward bringing answers and awareness to these important cases. So that's awesome. And then there's the article. No, I don't want the article. There's also an article in the community that I posted, and it's called "The One Last Ditch Effort Search for Last Ditch Search for Siblings 6 and 4 who vanished from their home 5 months ago as theories swirl." And I will let you guys go over and read that one. It has, pretty much information that I just read to you. Actually, what I just read to you is very thorough. That has all the information that a person would want to know in that. Thank you, Ginger. Yeah, please bring Jesse home. Facebook group. Oh, nice. Yeah. Yeah. I was checking, I was reading some stuff about him. But I need to do more for sure. Yeah. Any person with information regarding the missing persons case of Jesse Morrissey should call the Rewards for Major Unsolved Crimes programs at 188 710 9090. Yeah. Jesse's brother Jerry was shot and killed in November in Amherst. What? Okay, so there's a story there. Huh. Something going on. Steak and lobster, yeah. That's a good one. Ate them too young, so I'm allergic to all fish now. Oh, wow. Halibut. I love halibut. Yeah. Yeah, really. Isn't that awful? There is definitely something going on there. I used to live in Amherst. I've lived in a lot of places. I'm from Pictou County, but it's like I went away and explored other places and lived in other places and then made my way back to Pictou County. Yeah. So another thing I want to go over quickly. Okay, so we did the vigil. I read you the information about Please Bring Me Home. I'm not going to go. I posted the People's article, but I'm not going to read that because it's just the same thing as about Malaya. The letter she wrote to Please Bring Me Home, and that's pretty much all it is. Which is, was disappointing, to be honest with you, because that's People magazine. And there's a lot of people that read it. And wow, if there was one area that a person could use their voice regarding their children, that would be it. People magazine. So it's too bad that she turned that down. Yeah, I know. I sure wouldn't have. I don't think. I mean, yeah, I don't think I would. That'd be one good place to get your voice out there. Yeah. And then I'll let you guys read the article in the community about the last ditch effort. The other thing I wanted to bring up, I want you guys to get a good view of it. You guys should be able to see that pretty good, I hope. I wonder if you could see it better the other way I had it. There were some people who basically I'm just kind of going back to some comments or Hi, everyone. Can you hear me okay? Oh my goodness. I had a feeling today was going to be the day that I was going to have the computer was going to act weird. Uh, you can't hear me? Son of a gun. Mm-hmm. Just 1 second. I'm going to try something. Hello. You guys hear me okay? Man, oh man, that's annoying. I just had a feeling today was going to be the day that this computer was going to do whatever it does. I think it's StreamYard. Okay, I got to get back over to YouTube. Sorry, guys. Oh, good. AI Henry, thank you for being here. Anybody new that come in that I missed? I got 1 star comment there. Rena girl, thank you. Thank you. Well, we'll play our little song while I go back and find what we were looking at in YouTube. Our appreciation song, The Cat's Meow. Thank you. Thank you so much. And, I'm not sure who received it, but finding solace, hi. Yep. 7 PM to 7:30. Yep. Um, alright, so let's go back to what we were doing here, and hopefully everything will stay normal. Yeah, so there were I was saying there was some things that, people had, like, sometimes people, they don't understand something or they can't see something or they don't know where the certain information came, and then they ream me out on a post that I posted in the community. So I just wanna backtrack and help people out some. So what I did was I took that picture, the still image of the video from Sunny, It's a Criming Shame, who had, Brad Wong, who is, the boss. He's under the name The Boss. Hi, Sue. She had him go out and take a video, on the 24th while they were live. Hi, Mike. Um, and, she asked him to do that, and he went out and did it. Now, I could see it in the video. I put my reading glasses on, and it makes things bigger, and I put it slower, and I could see it, and it was clearly a car. There was headlights. But I understand, and, completely, that other people were having some issues trying to see it, right? Which I can understand that. So I had did some still pics of it, but people were still having a hard time seeing it, which when I looked at the pictures on here, what I showed you guys, then I realized, because I'm looking at a big screen. I have a 32-inch screen here, but I forget not everybody's looking at that. So I was like, okay, I understand why people still can't see it. So what I did was darkened up the dark sky in this picture. I put it in, it's called Lolly, and it pulls the darker images out and brightens anything else up that's there. So now you can clearly see the headlights on the right-hand side. Do we all agree that you can see those headlights? On the left, no headlights. And this is from the video. So you're watching the video, and on the left side, there's no headlights, and then you start to see the headlights come into sight, right? And then that's what you see, and then they continue off over to the left. So can everybody see that? Can you just give me a yes if you can clearly see up in by that tree where the arrow's pointing? You can see those headlights, and they are clearly headlights. So that's what you have to look for in the video. So if anybody was having issues, and I say go back to Sunny's channel, because Sunny actually has, although it's a small frame video on hers as well, but then when I pull it up into mine, it's even smaller. So if you go to hers, you'll actually get a bigger, a little bit bigger of an image of the actual video. And you have to look in that area where the tree is, and you see those lights are, and you will see those lights come into frame. You'll hear the sound, and it sounds like, I don't know if the vehicle might have, like, mild muffler issues and it's making it sound a little bit louder, or if that's the actual sound. Like, I know when I lived out in the country, the sounds are loud because you don't have all that sound pollution. And I actually pulled up different sounds, like a sound of a plane, a sound of a drone, a sound of a helicopter, and the sound of a car, like in the night. And it actually it is the car. Like, you can tell by listening to those sounds, it's a car. Oh, you thought it sounded like an ATV. Well, I didn't listen to an ATV. Haha. Because I listened to a bunch of different sounds, and to see what it sounded like. And I mean, to me, it did sound like a car, but a little bit louder, like it, had not like a horrifically loud muffler, but probably is, close to needing a muffler repair possibly. Riding that clutch, yeah. Could have been, yeah. Yeah. Hi, Carrie. Oh, is Daphne here? Or are you getting mixed up and calling me Daphne? Daphne, if you're here, hi. Bobby Joe, hi. Thanks for being here. And anybody else I missed? Just the facts, ma'am. Yeah, I like that name. Happy birthday to you, sweet Novah. Well, thank you. It is my birthday too. Thanks for bringing us all the vigil tonight for Jack. And I'm just got my fingers crossed that we don't run into any issues. I want it to just go as smooth as pie. Uh, that's okay. That's okay. She's not a bad person to be getting me mixed up with. She's a honey bunny and puts out great material, so I take it as a compliment. I don't know if she would, but I do. Hi, Guitar Man. Thanks for being here. Um, yeah, so I like that short for everyone. That's cool. Uh I listened to the planes flying over me yesterday. Then my neighbor came home with a noisy truck. Sounds like the truck. Yeah, it did to me too. Like when you listen to all the different sounds, it's a vehicle, right? I didn't question whether it was or not. But yeah. Um, no, Daphne isn't here. No. Um, anyway, so I just wanted to clarify that, right? And that this was taken on October 24th, 2025, not May 1st, 2nd, or anywhere near there, okay? It was October 21st. Sonny asked him, can you go outside right now and take a video and show us how you can actually see a vehicle? And he said, sure. And then he came back a bit later and that was what was in the video. And this is the still image of that video to help people to see, because people were having issues seeing the lights, which completely understand. It's not there very long because it's a vehicle driving. So this is just to help, is all. All righty. So the next thing I want to go over is Sue, I have issues too because I have so much fluid on my fingers. I have the same issue, especially in the morning when I get up, because you have more fluid on your upper body, and me anyways, in the morning. And then as the day goes on, it moves down into my legs, and then my legs become ginormous. I'll show you guys before and after some pics. Or pics. Oh my God, I'm so tired. I'm talking backwards. Pics one of these days. You'll laugh. I mean, you can't help but laugh. I mean, it's not concerning because I know how to treat it now and keep my legs up and all that jazz. But the before and after, like when you see when I'm up on my feet and how swollen they become, it's unbelievable. But anyways, I got the fat finger syndrome going on too, girl. So let us go over what I want to do. Oh, I lost that page too because I had to restart. So I'll have to bring that up again. I'm sorry, guys. Everything I had up here to do now is gone because my computer went wonky donkey. So just give me 1 second here. Chat amongst yourselves, shall you? Picture emerges. Okay, so what we're gonna do is, actually, I'll check in with the chat here first, and then we'll go over. Uh, you live near? I did my whole life. The only airport we have here in the whole county. That's where I grew up, right up by the airport. um, and it was awesome. And the people across the street from me, they own the airport. And yeah, and they were awesome. They used to have these things they would do where they would go up. Like the airport then was active. It's not like it is now. Now it just has Sobeys head office people coming in and out of there, or politicians or whatever, right? People like that. But back in the day, like there was all kinds of those small planes, right? One engine or whatever they're called, always coming and going, and there was always fun stuff going on. And they would have this thing that they'd have a kids' day up there and have do like an airplane show, and they would put candy in the airplane, and they would do this once a year. So all the kids would know in the town what day it was, and you go up, and then they would dump all the candy out of the airplane in the field there in the airport. And then you'd see all the kids running around getting the candy. And part of what was in there, if you grew up in like the late 70s, the early 80s as a kid, there was those army men, and they were on a parachute. Anybody here around my age generation would remember those. And yeah, it was, Mark. It was fun. Yeah, and they would have the army men on the parachutes, and and of course everybody just loved those. And it was fun. And yeah, I remember Cracker Jacks. And they would, yeah, so you'd be running around getting candy, all kinds of candy. I could never get around quick enough, but my brother always got lots and shared it with me. But and then another thing they did, because they owned all that property up there, they took part of it and made it an area for any, but well, back then it was all boys. There was no girls driving those little motorbikes. And they did hills and all, made it like an area for kids to go up on those little starter motorbikes that kids would have at that age. They're the smaller ones. And all the kids would be up there riding them, and then they had a couple for kids that didn't have motorbikes. And so if there was a kid that didn't have one, then they could use one, borrow one. Like it was fun. We had fun in that area. Novah, do you know anyone who will be searching? Just some individuals who have contacted me and said that they want to search, and they're looking for information. And there was a couple people in the community that had asked. And as far as local, yeah, I'm sure I probably do. I probably do know some, but I haven't spoken with them or anything. If anybody is out there local who wants to get in contact with me, because I honestly would love to have somebody on and do like a little interview with them about what it is like to take part in the search and the obstacles and whatnot. And because the other searchers that were already out there, and I don't blame them. I don't think they're really all that willing to speak out yet. Like, I have contacted a couple, one in particular that I'd really love to hear from, but I just don't think they're willing to do that yet. They may down the road. So yeah, so anybody who is going, not just local, I know somebody from PEI that's going to be coming over. If somebody's coming from somewhere else. Okay. Well, maybe it's you I'm thinking of, Holly. I have signed up for it with my lab, Lucy. Well, if you do go, afterwards, if you're interested in, you know, coming on, you don't have to show your face. You can do what I'm doing right now, just use an avatar. It doesn't even have to be your picture. It can be like Kent does, you know, the J and the L for Lily and Jack or whatever. I would just love to ask some questions and have you talk to us and tell us about the experience and the terrain, like from your own eyes. And yeah, so if you're interested in that, let me know. My email is on the channel, in the description of the channel and stuff. My email is there. Searchers may not be allowed to speak yet. Exactly, Arena Girl. Yeah. Yeah. They just can't do that yet. I'm trying to make it up too. I signed up. Okay. Well, if you're interested, like whoever's interested, I wouldn't mind having a panel of two and three people to you know, just speak to us. And oh, Belinda, don't worry about it. You can always go back. Yeah. Nova, I'm late, so you might have mentioned already. Are you going to the vigil tonight? No, because I'm going to be, for two reasons. One, I like, due to my health issues, my legs do not tolerate being upright for long periods of time. So, and that definitely would be too long for me to have to stay up standing. And so in that sense, I can't. And the other reason is, in order for me to put it live on here, I can't do both. Yeah, like I have to be here to be able to do that. Yeah, so no, but it is just down the road from me, believe it or not. It's actually walking distance. Yeah, like I could, if I was able to walk that far, and want to, you know, and if I had the ability, that mobility, and said, you know, hey, I'm going to that tonight, it would be like a 5-minute walk for me. Yeah, that's how close it is. I'll probably hear them over the speaker from the window. But I'm playing it live tonight, Carrie, on this channel for those who do not have Facebook and can't see it on Facebook. Hi, JDR. Reminds me of when they went to search for Suzanne Morphew. Yeah. Yeah, and they finally found her. Yep. I may go weather depending. I can't drive in snow. Yeah. Lots of times we don't have snow here by that time, so hopefully this year won't be any different. I mean, sometimes we do, but lots of times we don't get snow until around Christmas or just thereafter. If it's still nice out and clear weather, I'm there. Okay, good. Yeah, well, you guys, my email is in the on the homepage. If you want to reach out to me, they have to take an oath. The searchers, you mean? I'm not sure. I would have to say that we won't be allowed to record our search. Oh, no, probably not. No, I know other people have, but they've gone out on their own. They're not part of doing that for an organization. The terrain is much too dangerous. Watching out for clues and watching for footwork. Yeah. Yeah. Where can we see Novah's live stream of the vigil? Here, yeah, on this channel tonight. I'll put out a thumbnail like I do for all my others. Probably I'll be on here 7:15 just to make sure I get everything set up and that it's, you know, I get Kent's Facebook set up on here and stuff. Yeah. Yeah, it'll be on here, Angelina. Yeah. Yep. Well, Nova, we can hang out together night on the live. Thank you. Screening it now. Yeah, exactly. Yep. Yep. The husband didn't go search. No. If you're asking about mine, no. 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 They weren't allowed. I was thinking about the standing part after parking and walking, but I'm gonna go for it. Yeah. Yeah. Maxi, hi. Yeah. Nova, will you be streaming on YouTube or on here? Yeah. Yeah. Just like we're on here right now, except you'll see, instead of seeing what you see there now, me showing you my YouTube screen, it'll be Facebook, right? From Kent's Facebook. Awesome. Thank you, Nova. I will set my timer for sure. Yeah, because Kent's going to have it streamed to Facebook for people on Facebook because he's not on YouTube. And then he's given me permission to show it on here from Facebook for you guys who don't have Facebook. So we're all working together to make sure, right, that you can all see it. I wish Malaya would show up for her kids tonight. Yeah. Yeah, but it's not something I want to put a whole lot of attention on. Yeah, but I hear you. I hear you. Yeah. Hi, Cheryl. Thanks for being here. All right, guys. So what we're going to do, we are going over to the Globe and Mail, and I am going to play again the article for a picture emerges of missing children's lives, but not their fate. Because this is the article, the investigative journal, by, very very well experienced journalists, by the Globe and Mail, that has won awards, is known for its journalism, and I want people to listen to it because, again, this seems to be a misunderstanding. That, first of all, this is where why I put in the title, facts and evidence, because anybody who's come to my channel long enough knows that I just don't willy-nilly say stuff or throw something out there. If I have an opinion, I'll say in my opinion. If I'm speculating on something, I'll say, I speculate that this is why, that, blah, blah, blah. But anything regarding, directly with the Jack and Lily case, as far as it being a rumor or facts and evidence, everyone knows that I stick to the facts and the evidence. Okay. I mean, there's things people will, I even notice you guys now, and I thank you for it in the chat. No, like, you don't come into the chat and start telling me all these rumors that you've heard, because you know that I'm probably going to say, well, that's rumor. We don't know if that's true, but let's keep our ears open, and we're not going to go too deep into it. And if it becomes a fact or some kind of evidence, then we'll dive into it then, right? And that's just how I am. And in this case, for honestly, a lot of what was rumored did end up to become fact and evidence. But until that is the case, I don't want to be putting that on my channel or out to you guys, because there are the times when it is just purely a rumor, right? And we're not interested in something that is just pure rumor and has no truth behind it. So anybody that comes to my channel, you guys know that. Um, however, I did receive a post that wasn't so friendly from somebody after they had said something, and I was explaining to them, well, where this came from, and then I got totally reamed up out, like I'm just willy-nilly throwing information out there that came from nowhere, right? And I had stated, well, this information came from the school, right? The statement of the children not being cared for, that came from the school, right? And then, I got totally reamed out. Well, I just wouldn't willy-nilly say that, right? If I'm telling you it came from the school, that's because that information is known to be fact, truthful, and evidenced by whatever, right? Um, Hi, Allison. Um, so anyways, so we're going to play this again, and not only just for that information, pay close attention to it. Because maybe, afterwards I thought, well, maybe not everybody does know this. Maybe we have to, this has to be played again. Because, it was a while ago. So maybe some people have forgotten, or they're not aware. Or maybe they're just playing games. I kind of felt like it was somebody playing a game, which to me I think is disturbing, because this is about two missing children. Two missing children. And it's not a joke. It's not a game. So to write somebody a nasty comment who is doing stuff, and not just me, you guys, a group of people that are coming together to try to figure out what went wrong here and where are Lily and Jack, and offer support in whatever way can be offered. I mean, now you have people right here in the chat saying they're joining the search effort for Lily and Jack. So it's important, and it's not a joke, and it's nothing to be nasty about. Um, and yeah, so I mean, that's all I can say. And so are you guys all good? Because it looks like the chat's not moving. You guys are probably all over in the community looking at the comment. Because none of yous are chatting. Are yous all awake? Okay, there, I see a comment. Yeah, there isn't, especially when I see this individual in other chats and leaving comments and in other people's channels who are much more verbal in saying certain things, where I hold back and try to, you know, which I'm not saying anything about other creators, because I have no issue. I have no issue. We all have our own way. I have no issue with any other creator, but I uh, I just try to be so careful in that area. Sometimes I get a little ticked at Daniel with the lying and the games and stuff like that, and I'll have a day where I'm just like, oh, you're just driving me nuts with this, you know. Um, but, I this upset me, because I thought, "Why are you coming into my channel and doing that? There's no need," right? This is about missing children, right? To play some kinda game and just be nasty when I see you in other chats and comments, and that's not your attitude in where other channels are much more verbal about things than me. So it was just basically to come here, and it was like I was just their shitting post for the day. And I mean, we are coming closer, it was coming up on today, and I know people's emotions, do get the best of them as well. And even myself, the last few days, I've just been very teary and irritable, and because it breaks your heart, right? And we have empathy, right? Um, so yeah. So what we're gonna do is go over to the Globe and Mail. I'm gonna play that again. It's 24 minutes long, folks. I'd really appreciate it if people would pay close attention to the part about CPS and the school, okay? So have an understanding where that information came from. It came from somewhere. It's real. It's real. It's truth. It's facts, okay? And most likely, RCMP has it as possible evidence to something, okay? So there's no harm in talking about it. It's stuff that needs to be talked about. And if you want to sweep stuff under the rug and hide stuff and not talk about it, that's how things continue. And I'm not talking about anybody doing anything nefarious, like even outside of that being a possibility, right? There's other stuff like the facts in this article, okay? So no, we will openly talk about it. And because that's not how we fix things. That's not how we address things. That's not how we admit to things like this taking place around us. So we're going to go over to that article. That's enough of my spiel. And I'll pull up some of your comments, okay, while this is playing. Yeah, and when I pull them up, that means I'm reading them and acknowledging them. Yeah, so we'll bring up. Hi, everyone. I'll just come on and say hi before we go over to listening to this. Thanks for being here, everyone. And if I missed anybody, my apologies. Shirley Lynn, I don't know if I said hi yet, but hi. All right, so I'm going to hit play, guys.
Months after Nova Scotia children vanished, a clearer picture emerges of their lives before their disappearance. By Lindsay Jones and Greg Mercer. Article has been corrected. Deep in the middle of Nova Scotia, far from its quaint coastal towns, sits Lansdowne, a hamlet of around 100 people in a cellular dead zone. It's surrounded by endless spruce forests, bushes like razor wire and bogs that breed swarms of black flies. Like many faded settlements across the Maritimes, Lansdowne reached its peak more than a century ago. About 150 kilometers northeast of Halifax, it was once a busy railway stop bustling with Scottish immigrants who dug iron and copper mines deep into the hillsides. Today, those mine shafts are abandoned. One lone train a day cuts through the community with a melancholic blare. Most of the people here live a quiet rural existence in secluded homes scattered along backcountry roads that only the locals know, where chickens and large dogs roam free, and the rusted skeletons of old vehicles sit marooned in the dirt. Much like American Appalachia, this once prosperous corner of Pictou County is now economically stagnant. 1 in 5 children live in poverty, higher than most other counties in the province. It's here where the lives of Lilly&Jack Sullivan were implanted 2 years ago, to a rundown trailer set back from Highway 289 with their pregnant mother and stepfather. They needed a place to live, and their step-grandmother, who owned the home, welcomed them to live with her. Life for Lily, 6, and Jack, 4, inside the cluttered trailer in Lansdowne was chaotic. There were holes in the floor of the front stoop, tarps to protect the underside of the trailer from the elements, and so much racket from the lively children that their step-grandmother soon retreated to a camper in the driveway. Their stepfather, Daniel Martel, 34, with pale eyes and ropey arms, worked at the local hardwood mill. Their mother Malahide Brooks Murray, 27, a member of Sipinicottic First Nation with chin-length dark hair, stayed home with their baby Meadow. Inside the mobile home, a large wood stove filled up most of the living room. The kids' artwork was pasted to the kitchen wall, next to the sliding patio door that led to a yard where they spent hours playing next to the chicken coop. Lily chattered away to her dolls and stuffed animals. Jack turned over rocks and pieces of wood in search of bugs and worms. Outside the fenced backyard, and up over a steep embankment, the children sometimes played in a small fort nestled beneath boughs of spruce. It was like their own little dream world. Most days Jack and Lily hopped on the bus to attend Salt Springs Elementary, a rural school about a 20-minute ride from their home. Jack, smaller than his peers, was strapped in at the front of the bus, next to his sister. The morning the children were reported missing, the big yellow school bus rolled past the mobile home without stopping for a second day in a row. Jack and Lily were usually standing by the side of the road, waiting to be picked up. But earlier that morning of May 2nd, their mother had marked them absent from school at about 6:15 a.m. Both parents have said it was because Lily had a cough. They say they heard the children playing in the next room while they dozed in the bedroom with their toddler. Daniel has said he saw Lily pop in and out a few times. At about 9:40 a.m., the couple says, they awoke and realized the kids were gone. They were outside playing, but we weren't aware of it at the time. And the next thing we knew it was quiet, she told CTV Atlantic. We get up and I tell my partner Daniel, do you hear the kids? And he says no. Instantly we are looking outside. We are looking everywhere, yelling for them. Jack and Lily's mysterious disappearance has baffled the
get a
country.
kick out of that
More
too,
than 3
Rena
months
girl.
after they were reported missing, after one of the largest searches in Nova Scotia's history and an intensive police investigation, police still haven't confirmed the circumstances of how the young siblings went missing. It's possible that there were clues, even potential warning signs, in their home life. A closer look into the lives of Jack and Lily shows that all was not well in the trailer in Lansdowne. That morning, Jack's blue dinosaur boots were gone. So were Lily's pink rubber boots and her white backpack with strawberries. The only clue left behind, according to the parents, was one child-sized boot print in the dirt driveway, a few meters from the home. Malachi called 911 at about 10 a.m. Daniel said he jumped in her white SUV and left to check nearby dirt roads, culverts and streams. Soon an army of search and rescue volunteers arrived wearing orange hunting vests. They fanned out, conducting a grid search in the swamp and thick woods around the home. Drones and a helicopter scoured overhead. A police dog, on a leash with a handler, set about the yard. Police combed every inch of the property. They rummaged through the mobile home, reached inside a hamster cage, tore apart a brush pile, unzipped the suitcase lying in the middle of the yard. They opened the top of the dryer at the end of the driveway and peered in the chicken hut. They searched the camper van where Daniel's mother Janie McKenzie lives 3 times. That morning, Malachi messaged the children's paternal grandmother, Belinda Gray. I never thought they would run off on me like that, she wrote. I'm so distraught. Hours later, and still no sign of the children, Malachi floated the idea that Jack and Lily were abducted. Many are suspecting they were picked up by somebody, she texted Belinda, cause there is no trace of them or Lily's backpack. Daniel, meanwhile, was tearing through the woods on foot and wading in streams, telling people he was moving faster than the police helicopters. To Lily. But he later changed his story. Hunting vests. They fanned out, conducted.
Guys, I just realized I said I'd be on here at 7:15 for the vigil. I meant 6:45. Sorry, I just want to correct that. All right, we'll go back to this. And I accidentally hit it, so I hope I went back to the correct spot.
A grid search in the swamp and thick woods around the home. Drones and a helicopter scoured overhead. A police dog, on a leash with a handler, set about the yard. Police combed every inch of the property. They rummaged through the mobile home, reached inside a hamster cage, tore apart a brush pile, unzipped the suitcase lying in the middle of the yard. They opened the top of the dryer at the end of the driveway and peered in the chicken hut. They searched the camper van where Daniel's mother Janie McKenzie lives 3 times. That morning, Malachi messaged the children's paternal grandmother, Belinda Gray. I never thought they would run off on me like that, she wrote. I'm so distraught. Hours later, and still no sign of the children, Malachi floated the idea that Jack and Lily were abducted. Many are suspecting they were picked up by somebody, she texted Belinda, cause there is no trace of them or Lily's backpack. Daniel, meanwhile, was tearing through the woods on foot and wading in streams, telling people he was moving faster than the police helicopters. That day, carloads of family members pulled up to help search. In the mid-afternoon, a non-encrypted radio channel crackled with voices of emergency responders. Families brought us to a location there, not far away, that there's a piece of a blanket which the mother says she believes belongs to her daughter, radioed an official. Emergency responders dispatched a canine unit to the site, where they seized Lily's pink blanket, torn and wound around the lower branches of a spruce. It was about a kilometer from the mobile home, off the gravel Lansdowne Road where Daniel's father and uncles live. The road runs deep into the backcountry, connecting with dirt roads that snake further into the wilderness to remote lakes, backwoods dumps and clear-cut tracts of land. When a police officer asked Daniel about the pink blanket, he said it wasn't Lily's, at first. Police began pounding on doors into the early hours of the next morning. They came to the door of Daniel's father, Earl Martell, a retired tire plant worker who lives atop a hill in a bungalow he built himself 40 years ago. Officers peered with flashlights into the corners of his living room, jumbled with the craft supplies and Hot Wheels of Daniel's 2 school-aged biological children, who often visit on weekends. Earl guided police into the yard, to old campers and a derelict log cabin filled with junk, and to Daniel's older model black sedan, in need of repairs he couldn't afford. Police also banged on the door of the home of Belinda in Middle Musquodoboit, about half an hour from Lansdowne. They were looking to talk to her son, who had been living there for the last 9 months.
And note that what it was said about the car there. Let's go back a smidgy. Because that always stood out to me. It's one of the things I wrote down in my notes because I was like, why is she noting that, right?
Sedan, in need of repairs he could release into the yard, to old campers and a derelict log cabin filled with junk, and to Daniel's older model black sedan, in need of repairs he couldn't afford. Police also banged on the door of the home of Belinda in Middle Musquodoboit, about half an hour from Lansdowne. They were looking to talk to her son, who had been living there for the last 9 months after losing his roofing job. But Cody Sullivan hadn't seen Jack and Lily since he and Malahai separated 3 years ago. He'd cut ties after she filed for full custody of the children. Over the coming days, police returned twice more to interrogate him and take photos of vehicles. Through the night, search and rescue volunteers combed the woods, and helicopters and drones that can detect body heat scanned overhead. Malahai was up too, texting with Belinda. "I have reason to believe they may have been taken by someone," she wrote. "They should have found them by now if they were in the woods." The next morning Belinda set out to help search for her grandchildren. As she drove toward the trailer on Highway 289, past the trail of orange traffic cones, it hit her where she was headed. Over the last 2 years, Malahai had distanced herself from Belinda. She stopped bringing the children to visit, later explaining that Daniel was jealous and didn't want her going there or giving out the address. The grandmother said she had never been invited to the house. Until she showed up to help in the search, Belinda didn't know this was the home her grandchildren were living in, a home that she'd noticed multiple times on her way while driving to Halifax. Wow, she says she thought, as she stepped inside to speak to Malahai. Everything she saw, from the junk-strewn yard to the cluttered kitchen, was the total opposite of the neat and tidy woman she used to know. Even though she'd heard it once before, she needed to hear it again. "What happened?" she asked. Malahai opened the low rumbling sliding patio door in the kitchen, demonstrating how she assumed the children quietly left the home while she and Daniel were sleeping. "Well, Malahai," Belinda recalled saying, "you're the mom. You know these kids better than anybody. So where do you feel they'd go? What would take their interest? What direction would they go?" She had no idea. That day, as search and rescue teams tramped through the woods, rolling ankles and plucking ticks from their skin, Malahai stood on the side of the highway in front of a local television camera. "It's been raining and they're probably soaking wet, but with the sun today I'm hopeful they're feeling warm," she said, swallowing back tears. "We're all filled with pain and sorrow because we just want them found. We want them home. Everyone loves them." She also took to Facebook, pleading for police to issue an Amber Alert, a national public alert to help locate abducted children. "I want my babies home. My children are not shy to strangers and will go with anyone. They don't understand stranger danger," she wrote on May 3rd. Daniel also pushed for such an alert, telling the Globe that abduction is a possibility, something he said he tried to raise early on with police, but he said they looked at him like he was crazy. Perhaps it's because the home is so remote, where few travel or have reason to pass by. Also, Nova Scotia police require specific criteria to activate an Amber Alert, including a description of the child, abductor or vehicle, and reasonable grounds to believe an abduction has occurred. In this case, RCMP have repeatedly said they have no such evidence. "I asked them to go to every airport, all the airports, and intake for different provinces, pay in New Brunswick," Daniel said, breaking down crying. "They will go with anybody. Because they're undiagnosed autistic, they will go with anybody. As long as you offer them food or water, say I'll take you home to mom or dad, and they'll immediately get with them." It was late afternoon that Saturday when Daniel and Malahai's relatives began to turn on each other. In the dooryard of the trailer, a discussion about meth use in the home led one of Malahai's family members to hurl an accusation that Daniel must have something to do with the children's disappearance. The charge ignited a blaze of angry words. Eventually, Daniel's mother Janie ordered some of Malahai's family members off her property. Just up the road, Daniel and Malahai waited at the search and rescue headquarters for an update from police. It was around supper time when officers pointed out on maps where searchers had been. Suddenly, Malahai said she wasn't feeling well. She walked out with Meadow on her hip. In the back of an ambulance, Malahai sobbed uncontrollably, her mother, registered nurse Cindy Murray, at her side. Daniel pleaded with Malahai to speak to her alone, but her mother stepped in front of him. "Cindy, get the fuck out of here," Daniel recalled saying. The women hustled to Cindy's car, strapped in Meadow, and sped off down the dirt road. "I love you," Daniel called out to his child through the rolled-up back window. It was the last time the couple was together. After that, Malahai blocked Daniel from contacting her and later changed her Facebook status to single. Belinda emerged from the woods just before dark. It had been 36 hours since the children had disappeared and she was considering sleeping in her car, to begin searching again at first light. But then she learned Malahia had left Lansdowne, something that has troubled her ever since. If she could leave, Belinda said, her chin quivering in sorrow, then it meant she knew her kids weren't coming back. Daniel was also upset that Malahia left. I've been the only one there for them, he sobbed in an interview. She can't control them. Only I can.
All right, we'll pause there and I'll come over to your comments because you guys are asking some good questions. Yeah, exactly. Doesn't mean it wasn't drivable. Yep. And just for her to point that out, right? I was like, okay, there's just certain things, right, that stand out to you. And I was like, okay, what's that all about? And I wrote it down. Just up the road, just up the road from the blanket is the Earl Martell's home. Yep. Last night, Justin from Clutch Them Pearls said Daniel had 3 car accidents. Yeah, I heard that. I watched Justin. Since Jack and Lily went missing. Odd. Could those cars hold clues? And he is getting paranoid. Yeah. Yeah, so Justin's being given some intel from somewhere. I heard he had a couple. Yeah. Who knows, right? Good question, right? Nothing wrong with having questions, right? Is the blue ladder for the pool? Well, I wondered that as well. It looks like a pool ladder, but there's no pool there. It's just that ladder. So I don't know. Novah, do you know how Certo is used to mass drug urine test? It is quite effective. I don't, but I did hear that there are tricks that are used, and those who want to pass a rug test would know, right? What to do. My nurse friend was one of the people that she would go around collecting the urines. Like, she actually went to their homes. The individuals she went to, they didn't go to the hospital or somewhere to have that done. She, as the nurse, would go to their home to collect the urines for different situations, right? Could be somebody on probation, could be somebody with this type of situation. But that was years ago. I don't know how they do it now. But yeah, that's about the only information I can give you on the urine collection that I'm aware of. Yeah. And that there are things that they know to do. Why wasn't Malaya teaching her children about stranger danger? Yeah. Kind of important. Yeah. And I mean, I know some people say, well, we live in an area where people, you trust No, I've brought my kids up here. Nope. From very early age. As soon as they could understand, they were taught stranger danger. And even when you, as a parent with young children, it starts with not forcing them to hug people, or like my grandson doesn't want to give me a hug. Very, very rare. Very rare. He's maybe done it once, That's it. You don't try to push them into it because they're learning to set their boundaries then. So it starts there. Yeah, I know that Sora word seems strange to me. Yeah. Yeah. When I listened to Malaya's interview right from the first time, I never thought it was too awful bad, but that was one thing that stood out to me. The pain and sorrow was just kind of like, okay. Like, I always found her and Daniel spoke definitively. And I was in, her name's Bev. She's the lawyer, and she works for, her career has been working on children's cases, and up until now. But, and I talked about that in her chat, and she agreed, right? It's very definitive language that they've always spoken. Like, you think they're talking about something that happened eons ago, the way they speak, the way they've always spoken. Yeah. And I always found her definitely trying to hide something, and I always thought that it was, the not so good parenting definitely that day, right? At that time, we didn't know anything about what we're gonna hear in this about CPS and the school and all that. But, um, you know, but my mind's starting to change a little bit, I have to say, right? But I don't wanna get into all that today. I'm gonna save it for another video. Um, yeah, but yeah. Question, did they have cadaver dogs check Malaya's car? I hope they did, but I can't tell you whether they did or not. I don't know. So I heard her mother or someone towed it to the junkyard. I've never ever heard that. So that would be a rumor. It's not anything that we know is fact. Now, what I do know is fact is that the vehicle was towed from Daniels because she was unable to drive it that day. Of course, she was too upset. So she went with her mother as they all left the property, her family, and close friends that were there. And understandable that she wouldn't be able to drive that vehicle on the highway to Truro. And then the vehicle was towed from there to back to Malaya, and it was her friend who set up that to have take place for that vehicle to be towed. Not that it was towed to a junkyard. I've never ever heard that. Someone said the kids were, yeah, deceased, were in the car. I've never ever heard that. So that would be rumor, right? It's not something I have ever heard ever or know to be fact or truthful. One of the worst nights in her life. Yeah, I know. Yeah, one. And that was another thing. It's funny how your brain works when it hears something that just, and you're not even catching it at first. Your brain's kind of giving you a little nudge, like, huh? And then the more you listen and look into it, or someone else points it out and talks about it, and then you think, okay, so when my brain gave me that little nudge, I was onto something there. That it sounds weird, right? It just, yeah, like one of the worst nights of her life. Yeah, I think Charmaine picked up on that one right away. She spoke about that. Note the expensive shoes on Daniel. Yeah, I know. Yet kids lacked food and proper clothing, in my opinion. I did notice that. Yeah. Yeah. Donna, fake news, AI. Oh, well, there you go. Yeah. We don't do any deep dives into that stuff here or have any kind of deep conversations. They said Daniel took the car that morning and disposed. Oh, yeah, if that is coming from one of those AI videos, we're not even going to touch on any of that here cuz that's just foolishness. And they shouldn't be given any of your time. They should be reported for stuff like that. Dawn, I never heard that before. No, that's none of that is true. Can't believe he used that. I know. Yeah, yeah, and say that. I mean, now mind you, here's the children are missing, right? This is the mother of the children, right? You're just the pretend stepfather, and um, that's how you talk to the woman that you supposedly love and is the mother of your actual child. That's how you speak to her mother. I mean, even if you think it, you don't do that. And especially during that time, I would not let anyone talk to my mom like, yeah, exactly. Exactly. Someone on YouTube said it. Oh, we're not even going there, Donna. Sorry. Yeah. We just stick to what we know is absolute facts, truth, and any evidence that's been that we know of. Well, we know why Janie didn't let Daniel drive the quad. Yeah, yeah, for sure. Yeah, I would definitely say he's a bad driver. Some people just are. I'm not a great driver, I'll admit it. Yeah. Novah hair samples should be taken as well as blood samples too, for the rug testing, yeah. And I don't know if they do that. Like, I know my friend, it was always urine that I'm aware of, that I'm aware of. Like, next time I see her, I can ask her if she ever did blood or if it was all just always urine, but that was my understanding, but I could be wrong. Also glad he is okay, but could be damaged control to get sympathy for himself after the new horrible things floating around about him. Yeah, that wasn't a major accident. Like, whatever. I've been in a car that rolled before by myself on my way to work, and the whole top of the car was crushed. The glass was all broken, and um, yeah, like, yeah. So when I saw his vehicle, I was like, "Oh, geez, whatever." He's all good. uh, yeah, and then I was left hanging upside down until somebody could find me because you can't get out of your seatbelt when you're upside down. Try it. I'm joking. There's no way you can try it, but no, you can't. You can't. Lots of weirdos out there too. Oh, yes. Yes, indeed. I was same. I was a latchkey kid, same of the 60s, and stranger danger was a must then. Yes. Yeah. Yeah, it seems like Malaya and Daniel want to put abduction out there. They did. Mhm. Yep, they did. Yeah, and is that just out of concern that it could have happened, or is it for other reasons, right? We don't know. We don't know. Was Daniel charged with careless driving? Don't know. I wasn't charged with careless driving, and it was a beautiful, gorgeous day out, but my car got hooked on uh, like the road had a dip, and my tire got caught in that dip off the side of the road, and it pulled my car, and then I tried to correct it and overcorrected it, and my car started spinning, and then it came to a slight short stop, and I was like, "Whew, thank God." But then I felt the car, like, I only had enough time to think that, like, "Whew, thank God." And then I realized my car was picking up. And I was like, "Oh, okay. There's really nothing I can do now." I totally have no control over what's gonna come out of this. Daniel made it sound like law enforcement was upset because the car was in the way and they had it towed. Yeah, yeah, and it was, stated that none of that was true. Yeah, that it was actually them that said to keep it right there because they said, "We'll move it out of here and put it somewhere else, out of the way of there," and they said, "No, don't worry about it," and, uh I think they were just wanting Malaya to make her exit because they saw that she was making it, and they were probably like, "Whew, thank God, get out of here, get you and that baby out of here." um, but yeah, so yeah. Interesting. Why would the people allow her car to be towed? Should have been left there and investigated and searched. Oh, I think it probably was, no doubt. It was there for a bit before it was towed back to her. It wasn't towed right away. Yeah. But yeah, I'm sure they took a good look. uh Cold, raining, sun is out. I hope they are warm. Yeah. Yeah. But I thought the same thing, I have to say, and they're not even my kids because the next Saturday was so warm. It was like, and that's the way the weather is here. All of a sudden, you get this one day that's like this beautiful summer day out. And it was my grandson's first birthday, so I distinctly remember it. And it was gorgeous. And I remember thinking the same thing, like, well, I hope that those children are warm today because we had such cold, wet weather here. And you're thinking of hypothermia, right? Like you want them to get some warmth because if they're going to have to be out there for another night or two, because you're thinking they're going to find them, right? Nobody thought this is where we would be, but you're just thinking this was going to be a period of them getting warmed up before they went into any cold again, right? To help them battle against hypothermia. So when she had said that, to me, it didn't seem too odd. In my opinion, I'm curious if the kids made it back from the Glasgow on Thursday. A lot of people are wondering that. Yeah, and it's okay to ask questions, right? You're not stating it as a fact. You're just asking the question, right? You wonder. And of course you're going to wonder, right? Because something is just off here. The shoes might have been a thrift store purchase. Maybe. I've never seen anything like that in a thrift store around here. Shoes like that, but possibly, who knows? AI Henry, the trailer and vehicles should have been treated as a crime area until otherwise proven to be clear. I 100% agree. Yeah, and I always said, I think pretty much all of us have agreed on that one and said it from the beginning that's a boo-boo, right? And it's something that has to change in the process, the same as the Amber Alert thing, right? Like, I strongly believe that there's things in the process in the beginning of, disappearances like this, especially with children, that need to change. Carrie, he wears a gold chain too, yeah. No, Nova, only if CPS court ordered. Because of my short-term memory, Mary, and I'm so tired today. I'm sorry I don't remember what that's referring to, but I'm sure whatever you're saying makes good sense. And to agree to have the pictures posted online seems odd to me. I know. Why even bother? Like, please. It didn't even have to be mentioned. Come on. The only people that would know would be him and the police. Oh my God, that would be horrible. And the tow truck driver, I guess. Yeah. It looked bad. I can't imagine rolling around like that. I would have a heart attack. Yeah. I don't know what Charmaine said in Justin Clutch Them Pearls chat, because I had said when I had rolled my car, like there was damage to the roof and to the sides of the car, like along the whole side, and the glass was all shattered, right? And she said he did, oh my God, I wrote it down and now I can't remember, pitch pulling or something like that. I've never heard tell of it. But because I've rolled my car and I know what my car looked like, when I looked at his car, I was like, to me, it didn't look that bad. But yeah, definitely. Actually, once I knew it was out of my control, because there's nothing you can do once your car starts rolling. You can't correct that, right? So you just have to go with it. And then you kind of start having some things in your life flash before your eyes. You really do, right? Because my kids were little, and I just started thinking about stuff like that because you don't know how you're going to come out of that. And for me, it was on out in the country roads. Same idea of what Daniel was on, but different end of the county, with all those big logging trucks, rock trucks, gravel trucks. There was a mine out there, coal trucks. So that we're always on that road, especially at that time of the morning. That was a given. So in my mind, to me, one of those trucks was coming around the corner because I was on like a kind of a turn, like not turning onto a road, but you know what I mean? Like just a bit of a turn in the road, that I was coming around, and I thought for sure that's what was coming, and I was toast. and I was upside down. And, anyways, thank goodness that morning, absolutely not a vehicle on that road the whole time that I was flipping and sliding down over the bank. Yeah. Oh my gosh, Nova, I'm so sorry you had to go through that, and I'm glad you survived that. Yeah. Yeah, like, I get out, I had a little bit of marks on me from, like, that thank God, like, the glass in the vehicle is, protected glass, not to cut you up, but it'll still cut you a little bit. So I just had, like, little cuts here and there. I didn't think that I bumped my head, but the next day I had really severe pain in the top of my head, so it was obvious the top of my head did get smashed, and we found my family found my glasses that were on top of my head, sunglasses broke in half. So it was the definite that my head got whacked, the top of my head. But yep, I, yeah, feel very happy and fortunate to have walked away from it for sure. Considering that D and M are in debt, he sure wears nice footwear. Yeah. Yeah, it's all about the appearance, right? Yeah. Gotta sucker the next victim in with your appearance. Insurance claim, yeah. Well, hopefully Janie had more than PLPD, 'cause that's what they call it here. Um, the dips are notorious on the roads. Yes. And those tire, like, for hydroplaning, like, because the dips where the tires, your tires are, that are driven constant, are really bad here. Yeah, which is probably what you're talking about, those tire dips. Yep. And the rain builds up in them, and yeah, it's bad. Daniel sure likes to spread a lot of misinformation. Yes. And Janie. Yeah. That's why things get so confusing, right? And that's why I try not to listen to anything they say. um, it gets very confusing because they just muddy the waters, right? Like, and then people are thinking and saying, oh, there was only, this footprint here in the driveway. Well, no, the police never said that. The police have never talked about a footprint in the driveway, not even in the documents. So, uh, they just muddy the waters. You really got to be careful of what you're going to pay attention to where your information comes from. JDR got to protect them feet. Daniel, he leaps. Yes, over tall trees. Right. What were we thinking, right? Up to his waist in water. Yeah. Darn near, peas, became impaled. Yeah. By a stick. I know, right? Like, he should have the greatest footwear on the planet for that. Like, holy cow. I got the biggest kick out of that one because I was thinking, okay, this is the guy standing in how many pictures in the water with the big gigantic fish. And you know what it's like to get a fish on your hook and try to wrestle that in. And he's standing up in the water doing it, but he was worried about a stick in the water, and him becoming impaled. Like, give me a break. But she was pushing for the kids were abducted. Yeah, surely they would be in a closed-in area. She was pushing for the kids to be abducted. Surely they would be in a closed-in area. I'm not totally getting that. Sorry, Rena. But yeah, they both were pushing for the abduction. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, he's funny, isn't he? Yeah. Novah, do you have emergency escape tool, multi-tool? Well, after that accident, yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah. Oh, yeah. My husband got me geared up. Yeah. So if I was ever upside down again, yeah. And you have those things too. You can knock the windows open. I didn't have to worry about that. But I felt bad for the young guy that came and got me out of the car. He was just a young fella. He was home on break from college, from university, and He just had his boxers on, no footwear, nothing else, just boxers. And as he was running towards the car, I could hear him going, I'm coming, I'll help you. And I thought, oh, like afterwards, poor guy. And then I went back to his house after I kind of got myself back together after the accident to thank him. And ask him if he wants some money for a case of beer or something, right? College kid. And he was gone back to college, but I talked to his father and I said, I hope he's okay because he had no footwear. And he said he had some cuts on his feet, but nothing major. He was fine. Poor bugger. I agree. Our CMP messed up. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. All right. No, when my father died and got the phone call, and I got the phone call, I sort of went shocky and told the funeral home to keep him warm. Aw, with the blanket. No, it's not weird. Not weird at all. The mind works to protect us, and it'll do what it does, and that's all right. Yeah. Yeah. Hi, Christina. Thanks for being here. Both driver side tires were off the rim. I noticed that. I wonder what Janie said. Yeah. Well, she should only be happy that her son is alive because things always could be much worse, right? In those situations. Gold, yes. Yeah. uh, all right. So I want to come back down and get back to, oh, hi, Drippy, Drippy, Drippy. Love having you here. Thanks for being here. And Sky Painter, hi. Thanks for being here. Yeah, love having all you guys here. You guys are all awesome. You really are. You guys really are. You make it an awesome chat, and you're all so awesome. You really are. You keep it real. You keep it real. You keep it a buck. Yeah. So is it true that the car flipped, or did another car rear end it? I'm here. To me, I mean, just knowing what my car looked like when I flipped it, but I have to look up pitch polling, I think is what Charmaine said. Um, and ask my husband about it because he'll know. Uh, to me, it looked like somebody hit the rear end of the car, or that it hit something, or that like it could have went over a bank and, you know, flip, like in the sense on its wheels, not rolled, right? But spun maybe, and then back end of the car was hitting something, but yeah. A pole or something maybe. Janie Jack digging for worms at 2 see not possible. Yeah. Drippy, he flipped it. Yeah, is what he's saying. Yeah. Hi, Robin. I'm gonna sneeze, guys. Excuse me. I was like, oh my god, am I gonna get that on pause in time? All right, I am going to go. I'm suspicious NBM statement to the media. Oh, that recent one. I know a lot of people feel that. Yeah. Lori, hi. Hi. Thanks for being here. If anything happened on the driveway, Janie wouldn't have mentioned that. Yeah. Yeah. Anybody else new that come in, excuse me, that I missed? Hi, and we're going to go back over to listening to this now. And excuse me, you guys feel free to chat, of course, as this is playing, and discuss it. We just want to remind ourselves what's on here. Some people have never heard it, and I want you guys to really pay close attention to the CPS part and the school part of this. Of course, everything else as well, but because we're just trying to make people understand that this part of it, this whole thing about Lily and Jack, the CPS, the whole school part of it is it's fact. Okay, nobody's speaking out their ears when they're discussing these issues that should be discussed.
They act out whenever she's there. She always gets me to calm them down, or get them to stop fighting, or feed them, or get them up, and put them to bed every night. She was asking me to do everything. It just breaks my heart not to ever see everybody. The day before the children were reported missing, the Mounties say the children were observed in public with family members. It was the last time they were seen by anyone outside the home. Daniel has said in an interview that the evening before the kids disappeared, everyone was home. He said he spent the evening working on the fence in the backyard. It was a night just like any other for the young children, he added, though he couldn't remember what time they went to bed. There is, however, at least one account of strange activity at the mobile home that night. RCMP spokesperson Corporal Carly McCann confirmed that police received a tip on May 8 from someone who described hearing a vehicle come and go from the mobile home throughout the night before the children were reported missing. Investigators are continuing to review and assess more than 600 tips from the public and follow up on over 800 tasks, she wrote in an email. A neighbor who spoke to the Globe said they reported this information on May 8. The neighbor said they were working on a vehicle in their own yard when they heard the same.
Lori, that's going to be in this, okay? It's all about, it's all in here, that information, okay?
Same loud, 5-speed car come and go from the trailer about 6 times, from midnight to 5 a.m. After the children's disappearance, the neighbor considered it important information and reported it to police. The Globe agreed not to name the neighbor because of concerns for their safety in the community. For the next 5 days, search and rescue teams poured over the area. On the 6th day of the children's disappearance, police announced they were scaling back. It was unlikely, they said, that the children were still alive. In the following weeks, searchers returned twice more. They zeroed in around the home and the natural gas pipeline, a clear-cut trail of land that runs through the countryside, where a possible child-sized boot print was found. Lily's blanket was also nearby. Police divers scoured lakes. They drained the septic tank of the mobile home, and inspected 4 abandoned mine shafts in Lansdowne, a search that's eerily familiar for locals. In 2002, amateur mineral explorers discovered the remains of a man who had disappeared 19 years earlier, in one of these old copper mines. 39-year-old Alex Penny's car was found abandoned on a dirt road in Lansdowne, months after his mysterious disappearance. It's a chilling homicide that has never been solved, one that rattles around in the collective memories of the people who live here. Police have said they plan to search more of these old mine shafts for the children. A provincial database shows 5 within several kilometers of the mobile home. Dozens more pepper the backwoods and rural highways of Pictou County. Police have described the case as highly unusual. Most missing persons cases are resolved shortly after they're reported to police. But the disappearance of Jack and Lily has become a complex and intensive major crime investigation involving a tremendous amount of careful, deliberate investigative work, said RCMP Staff Sergeant Rob McCammon in an update last month. The Nova Scotia government offered a $150,000 reward for information. So far, the Mounties say they've drawn on units from other provinces, interrogated dozens of people, sought 10 judicial authorizations to seize records or search warrants, administered polygraph tests, took possession of electronic devices, viewed thousands of video files, and are awaiting forensic tests on items found during the search, including Lily's pink blanket. Daniel initially told police and the Globe on May 5 that the pink blanket found in the woods did not belong to Lily, but he later changed his story. In a subsequent interview, he suggested the blanket was planted, taken from his week-old garbage. He also claimed 2 of his sweaters mysteriously disappeared from his home after the kids went missing. He declined to elaborate further. Behind the scenes, people's concern for the children's welfare had already raised red flags. A child protection supervisor in the nearby town of New Glasgow rushed to prepare a memo for Deputy
Okay. Because I can't hear it either. I don't know what happened. I think it looks like it might have went on pause. No? Can you guys hear me okay? Okay. Hmm. Okay, well, let me refresh this. I know that we have 950 left.
To Lilly, but he later changed his story. In a subsequent interview, he suggested the blanket was planted, taken from his week-old garbage. He also claimed 2 of his sweaters mysteriously disappeared from his home after the kids went missing. He declined to elaborate further. Behind the scenes, people's concern for the children's welfare had already raised red flags. A child protection supervisor in the nearby town of New Glasgow rushed to prepare a memo for Deputy Minister Craig Beaton about Jack and Lily on the day the children disappeared, according to redacted briefing notes obtained by the Globe through Freedom of Information legislation. 2 weeks later, in mid-May, another memo about the children was prepared for senior staff in the province's Child Welfare Department. Opportunities and Social Development Minister Scott Armstrong, who also told the Globe he asked for more information about his department's interaction with the children, has so far declined to discuss how the government responded to concerns about Jack and Lily's well-being prior to their disappearance. What is known about Jack and Lily's interaction with child welfare authorities is that a social worker came to the trailer over concerns raised by the school several months before their disappearance to assess their home life. Teachers and other professionals who work with children have a legal duty to report if they have reasonable grounds to suspect a child has, may have, is, or is about to suffer abuse, and home visits occur when there's reason to be concerned about a child's safety and care. Daniel, however, told the Globe the visit was related to the kids' learning difficulties at school. He said the children were suspected of having autism and were scheduled to see a doctor the same month they vanished. He declined to answer further questions about the involvement of child protection staff in the kids' lives. From the outside, there were signs the children's home life was strained. They were developmentally behind other children, and arrived at school grubby and without appropriate winter clothing, prompting staff to provide it for them, according to a school board employee with direct knowledge. The Globe is not identifying the source because they're not authorized to disclose details about students. Last December, Jack came to school with a black eye, according to a photo of him posted by his elementary school. The photo of the class trip on December 13, 2024, 5 months before he and his sister disappeared, shows him sitting next to other students in the forest with a green and purple bruise below his left eye. Another photo shows a possible black eye and bruising on Jack's face in a photo taken in September 2024, an injury that Daniel defended on social media, saying it was caused by Lily. Daniel did not respond to questions asking how Jack received the black eye in December, but in private Facebook messages that were shared with the Globe he acknowledged Jack had many black eyes. One time, Lily punched him in the face, he wrote. He also said Lily had a black eye when the children went missing, from an incident with a Tonka truck that occurred on May 1, the day before the children disappeared. She pushed down on the truck and it swung up and hit in the face. The family was under pressure. A confluence of financial woes left the couple turning to relatives for help. Like many lower-tier workers at the mill, Daniel had been cut back to 1 shift a week during the spring thaw, because of an annual ban on heavy logging trucks on soggy local roads. His car, off the road because it needed repairs he couldn't afford, wasn't drivable, and he had to rely on his uncle who also worked at the mill, to take him to work, or Malahia, whose maternal grandmother had recently helped her buy a white Nissan SUV. Daniel's father Earl said he bought the couple groceries and gas, and provided firewood to heat their home. Daniel, however, denied having money problems, and had claimed to friends that he was getting into investing and turning his life around after a divorce. Other means of cash flow had also been cut off. In recent months, child support payments from Jack and Lily's biological father had stopped after he lost his job. Malahia's monthly Canada Child Benefit check, or baby bonus, which under federal guidelines would be about $1,900 per month, was halted because Daniel hadn't filed his taxes which were due by April 30th. The struggles didn't end there. Malahia described Daniel as controlling and said she had wanted out, writing in a message to Belinda on June 15 that I never wanted to stay there. Belinda wrote back, saying she wished Malahia would have reached out. We would have done what we could to help. I know, Malahia responded. My mom is saying the same thing. Cindy, Malahia's mother, declined to be interviewed. After the children's disappearance, Malahia also confided in her paternal grandmother, Connie Brooks, a member of Sippinicotic First Nation. She described how Daniel would hold her down and take her phone. He was having her, I don't know what you call it, scared. She couldn't go anywhere, do anything, Connie said. That's what she told me and that's what I told the detectives. When she asked her granddaughter about drug use in the home, she said Malahia told her that Daniel concealed a drug addiction for nearly the first year of their relationship. Daniel did not respond to questions about these allegations, but he has insisted in interviews with The Globe that he's never struggled with drugs and does not have a drug problem. Despite that, he is admitted to taking methamphetamines and pretty much everything. He said
I'm sorry, you guys. I forgot to unpause me. I was saying, yes, today is Jack's birthday, Guitar Man. And Lori, yes, it is the Globe and Mail is what this is. But it was CPS who released that information, those facts. Yeah.
he recently started attending Narcotics Anonymous 3 times a week, and is taking online courses in anger management, depression, parenting, child protection, substance abuse, suicide and violent behavior that are recognized by child protection officials. I have to clear my name for CPS, he said. It's best to do that. Without answers, theories abound. For some, maybe they're a way to hold out hope, or to shift attention elsewhere. There are those who believe the children are still alive, taken or hidden somewhere. One such rumor circulating in social media group chats is that Lily and Jack were taken by one of Malahia's relatives and are being held on a reserve. The rumor prompted Sippinicotic chief Michelle Glasgow to respond on social media. That whole dialogue was made up by a racist fool and anyone entertaining it is a racist fool, she wrote in a text message that she posted to Facebook on July 10. The vacuum of information about the missing kids has stoked a voracious demand for clues and conjecture, on social media and in the online true crime community. One of the most popular online sources in the true crime amateur community is It's a Criming Shame, a Vancouver-based YouTube channel, which has morphed into exclusively discussing the case. Its live streams about Jack and Lily have been viewed 500,000 times. For several hours multiple times a week, host Sunny Austin invites guests on the show to discuss the case and rants provocatively, calling out those who she disbelieves. In the case of Jack and Lily, Daniel frequently pops up in her live chats like a whack-a-mole, she says. Belinda has also called in as a guest. Most recently, she presented text messages with Malahia, who when reached by phone, refused to verify whether the text messages were hers. Malahia has also repeatedly declined to be interviewed by The Globe, saying police advised her not to speak to the media. She said she has put her faith 100% in the authorities to find Lily and Jack. On the ground, the high-profile case has also conjured up other drama. Recently, a local online content creator arrived at the home of Malahia's mother Cindy under the auspices of buying a horse trailer. The man surreptitiously recorded a 45-minute interaction with her partner, Wade Paris, discussing the missing children and posted the video online. In interviews with The Globe, Daniel has said he had nothing to do with the children's disappearance, and he said he has passed a polygraph test with police to prove it. He lamented the stigma the case carries over into his everyday life. He's on stress leave from the mill. People stare or give him dirty looks whenever he goes out in public. Recently, at a used car dealership, he said a salesman snatched a vehicle key from his hand and walked away when he realized he was talking to Lily and Jack's stepfather. His Facebook is filled with direct messages from strangers calling him a child killer. Where are the bodies? He said they ask every day. But then a profile that The Globe has previously communicated with Daniel on also appears in Facebook chat groups frequently, offering up riddles and conjecture that the children were taken by someone they know and are being held prisoner. As long as I remain the target, the sick person or persons that have the kids may relax and make a mistake. RCMP better capitalize on that, the user wrote this week. His mother Janie has said she also believes the children are still alive, because she says they have never gone into the woods by themselves or wandered off. A self-described hermit, it took her more than 2 months to speak publicly, doing an interview for CBC and releasing voice memos in a public social media chat. She said she heard the children playing in the backyard from inside her camper on the morning they disappeared, and she too believes someone took them. In Malahia's Micmac community of Sipanikotic, her father Henry Brooks is hopeful his grandchildren will be found. He says the last time he spoke with the children, Jack told him he loved him. "It's weighing heavy on me," he said. "Really heavy." At her home in Middle Musquodoboit, Belinda spends her days alternately tending her sprawling back garden and advocating for her missing grandchildren. She appears on YouTube live streams and in social media chats, picking up breadcrumbs along the way that she hopes will lead to Jack and Lily. In her blue and white kitchen, where Jack once crawled across the laminate floor, and Lily hammed it up in her gardening hats and old
Lori, the media was able to have it released through the Freedom of Information Act, and not everything was released, just the basic information to state that it was so, and just what you hear in that article. Yeah. So, nope, not illegal.
eyeglasses, she is resigned to a grim reality. "I think somebody there must know what happened," she said about the mobile home in Lansdowne. "I don't believe my grandchildren are alive, but to not get answers, it's like no, there's answers out there. 2 kids don't just disappear in the morning and nobody knows nothing. So, if they don't find answers outside that home, then the answers are inside that home." In hindsight, she says she wishes she would have pushed harder to see the kids, to see Lily on her birthday in March. Looking at photos of the children from the past 2 years, she noticed they looked thin, possibly malnourished with dry cracked lips, something she says she might have picked up on had she seen them in person, and it makes her wonder about the other adults in their lives. She recently learned others had concerns about the children's safety in the home. She also wants to know what child protection social workers knew prior to Jack and Lily's disappearance, whether they suspected the children were abused and what was being done about it. "I hate to say it, but every one of us failed them," Belinda said. "We all failed these kids." Editor's note: a previous version of this article incorrectly stated that Lansdowne is northwest of Halifax. It is northeast of Halifax.
There you go, folks. I've read all your comments as I was coming down. Thank you, Donna. Yeah. Happy birthday to you, Noah. Thank you, Sailor Moon. Yeah. I agree with pretty much everything you guys are saying. Thank you, Guitar Man. It is. It is my birthday. Yep. Me and Jackie boy. Yeah. I said my birthday is I've never been a big birthday person, like think that I should be getting all these gifts and be pampered or anything. I've always been like that. But now the 29th of October does have a very special meaning for sure. Yeah. Does the black house have a freezer? If she says yep, yes. I'm gonna say she was in there. Exactly. Worth a try though, Mary. It's worth a try. Thank you, Drippy. I know all about CPS, especially for domestic reasons, sadly, and they will only ask you to do programs related to your situation. Oh, absolutely. Yes. Yes, absolutely. Yeah. Thank you, Lori. Yeah. Carrie, would be interesting to know. Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Happy birthday. 29 again. Yep. Belinda, hi. Oh, honey. Sad day for you, darling. And thank you for saying happy birthday to me. And we're all saying happy birthday to Jackie boy. And I'm going to do the visual here through Facebook for those who don't have Facebook and cannot watch it on there. So I'll be putting Kent's Facebook, who's doing it on his Facebook for people who are on Facebook, and then I'll be doing his Facebook on here live for those who don't have Facebook. So hopefully everyone will get to see it. And thanks for being here. Thank you so much for being here, and I hope you're doing okay today. Send lots of love to Belinda, everyone. Hi, Jane from UK. Novah, happy birthday. I'm in the UK. What time is the vigil? It is 7 to 7:30. I'll be coming on at 5:45 to set things up and get Kent's Facebook on here, and hopefully we won't have any issues with any connections. So fingers crossed, everyone. Yeah, and I'll be putting the notice out. So if you're subscribed to the channel, you'll receive the notice for it. And just like when I put out any video. Yeah. Yeah, lots of love to Belinda and Jackie Boy and Lily. Hugs to Belinda. Belinda, hi. We are all thinking of you and your family. Yep. Hugs and love. Hi, Belinda. I'm sorry. Hi, Belinda. I'm sorry. They will be found. Yeah. Yeah. My gosh, I'm so hoping with this search. Oh, every search, you're just like on edge, right? That my husband even, because he'll come home from work and go, "Did you hear anything?" Everybody just wants them to be found. So we can watch it later if we have to go. Yeah, yeah, like, I'm pretty much gonna be, closing this live out, and then I'll put the, thumbnail out for the next live. And then we'll come back here at 5:45. That'll just give me a little break. I'll go have some more of my birthday Chinese food, and then I'll come back. Yep. Is to Jack too. Yeah. Lots of love, Belinda. Yeah. Lots of love to Belinda, Jack, and Lily. Yeah. Hi, Belinda. Hugs and kisses. Belinda. Yeah. Yes. Happy birthday to Jack too. Yeah. Happy birthday, Novah. Happy birthday, Jack. Yeah. Hit that little bell so you will get all the notifications for Novah's channel. That's the thing. Once you subscribe, you have to hit the subscribe button again, and then you click all notifications, because if you don't, you won't get notifications, and then it turns that little bell a solid color, and then you'll get notifications of the videos coming out. So you'll receive that after we all say goodbye here now, and then I'll do the next thumbnail and put that out, and you'll get the notification. Yeah. Jack Benny, 39.5 years. Much love from Halifax, Belinda, from Peggy. Drippy, I think they will be found too. God, I so hope. So many people care. I can see people searching until they are found. I know. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. Just the facts, ma'am. Belinda, my heart goes out to you. Warmest regards. Olivia, happy birthday, Novah. Happy birthday, Jack. Thank you, guys. Getting off here now. I'll be back for vigil. Thank you, Novah. Happy birthday. Much love to you, especially today, Belinda. Yes, and thank you, Rena girl, and thanks for being here. Lots of love, Belinda. Belinda Gray, did Jack say anything funny or do anything you fondly remember? Well, that would be a lovely note to leave on, if Belinda's still here. If you would like to reach out to Novah, please send her a message via email at novahschannel@gmail.com. And yes, please do. Thanks, Mary. Yeah. Yeah, well, guys, it is Much love, Belinda from Saskatchewan. Yeah. 6:45 here. No, it'll be 6:45 my time. When I put out oh my goodness. I'm so tired. My brain is just not, it never functions very well. But the notification, your time will be on there. I'm not sure where everybody is, but when you get the notification, it'll actually say your time of where you are, of when that's coming on. But right now it's 5:18 here, and I'll be coming back on at 6:45. Okay, 6:45. Because it starts at 7. Okay. Just parked my car in my driveway. Thanks for keeping me company, guys. Well, that was perfect timing. Happy birthday, Nova. Thank you. Sending so much love to your way today, Belinda. Yes. Yeah. Snow angels. Happy birthday, sweet Jack. My warmest heartfelt prayers, Belinda from Alberta. Nice. It's 4:18 here in Ontario. There you go. And it's 5:18 here. 3:18 in Manitoba. 4:18 and roasted chicken time here. 2:18 there. All right, guys. Lots of love. Lots of positive vibes. Now come on here. Say goodbye to yous. Hi, everyone. Ooh, it's getting dark. Lots of positive. I'm gonna have to bring a light in here for later because it's gonna be so dark in here. Well, I have that light over there. Yeah, and I will see you guys later. Okay, so 5:45. All right. I'll put Lily and Jack's picture up right now, and we'll play a little song on the way out. And when you see my adorable grandson, you know that it's time to exit the door. He's the signal. I always like to leave you with a little bit of happiness on the way out the door. Okay? Bye, everyone. We'll see you all later, okay? Yes, Carrie, 6:45. Atlantic Standard Time, I believe it is.